Well, it looks like I'm at Hy-Vee on Sunshine, and right next to me, because this is where you can find her, is Maddie. Yes. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Tom? It's good to see you.
Registered dietitian. Yes, registered, and the whole deal. I'm doing fine. You doing well?
Yeah, so far. I mean, you know, we're finally getting into springtime, which means the weather's getting nicer, and I'm, you know, more inclined to leave my bed. So it's just super nice.
I get it. The hibernation is over, so to speak. Now, the one thing which we have out in front of us, you know, St. Patrick's Day kind of, you know, came and gone.
Yes.
And you go think green.
Yes.
But you're saying, no, why don't you stretch that out a little bit?
Exactly, yes. So
even your nails, you have some green.
I know. I feel like I was really feeling like the St. Patty's Day theme, so we're just going to bring that on through the rest of March and kind of all throughout spring, too.
Pretty good. Okay, you got green all over
Yes, all
here.
the green. So kind of that we're getting into that springtime. This is when things are starting to become more in season. You know, people are having salads, wraps, those kinds of things a little bit more.
They're
so I
crunchier.
thought, yes. They just taste a lot more fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of just going to take some time to talk about some of the different greens that a dietitian would probably pick, you know, to put on a sandwich, to make for a salad, to put on a wrap, those kinds of things.
Okay.
And then kind of debunking some greens myths too. So,
all right.
Starting with the first one, so romaine, kind of one of those really popular ones that you put on like sandwiches, things like that too.
Right. That's the long, stalky kind of.
Yes. And the one thing too about romaine is like you see it kind of in a stalk, but they also have it in like a heart form. So if you wanted to throw that in a salad versus maybe use this for like a wrap or something like that.
Yeah, that is a lot easier in a wrap.
Yes, they come in different forms, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is full of fiber, so this is going to really help with our gut health. It's going to help us feeling full for longer.
Okay.
And it's got a ton of vitamins and minerals. So it's got vitamin C, which is good for that immune health.
Right.
Vitamin A, which is good for our eyesight. And then it's also got some calcium and folate, magnesium, kind of some of those things that some people may lack if they're not getting in a variety of fruits and vegetables too.
All right.
Moving on, so we've also got some arugula. So this is one that I find a lot like whenever I go to McAllister's and I get a sandwich, this is one of the greens that is on it, and it's so good. So it's kind of more of like a dark leafy green vegetable, kind of similar to like a broccoli, cabbage, kale type situation. This is going to be another one of those greens that's really high in that vitamin A. Again, too, any kind of dark leafy green is going to be really high in iron as well, which is going to be
the darker green is higher in iron.
Yes,
okay.
And that's going to kind of help make sure that our red blood cells are getting all throughout the body too.
All right.
Kind of moving on to the last one is going to be a spring mix green. So this is just kind of exactly what it says. It's just a mix of baby spinaches, different kinds of colors of leaf lettuce. Again, these are going to be really high in those vitamins. It's going to be really high in that iron as well, which again is going to kind of help just help us move better, help us feel better all in the end too.
You know, you mentioned spinach because when I was growing up, the only spinach really that we had was in the can.
Yes.
So I made my judgment on that and I went spinach, yuck. But if you've done that too, try real spinach.
Yes.
I mean, not out of a can. Try the leafy green spinach, and that is some great stuff,
honestly.
actually.
And too, I like sometimes with greens, I feel like some people are like, I don't like the taste, I don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
I put it in things like smoothies just to kind of help me get my veggie intake in.
Yeah.
I can't even taste it because it's mixed with a bunch of other things.
Yeah. Now, I notice, you know, doing this up here, I didn't see or hear you mention iceberg.
So iceberg is pretty much just water.
That's what I was going to ask.
There's no really nutritional value associated with it. I mean, I feel like it's pretty common you can mix it, of course, with everything. I would recommend not having it by itself, but trying to pair it with one of these other greens too.
See, because you know, a lot of people, iceberg lettuce, they'll throw that leaf down.
Yeah.
All they're getting is kind of roughage, I guess.
Yeah, so a little bit of crunch and some water with it.
Okay, all right. Now, you mentioned a couple of things over on the end that you wanted to be a little serious about.
Yes, so as a dietitian, I get a lot of questions about greens powders, which is essentially just kind of like a supplement that people take to get in more veggies, fruits, those kinds of things. As a dietitian, I obviously recommend trying to get it in through the food itself, then supplementing with a powder.
Right.
If you're not able to do that, then it's okay to do it through a powder, but I just kind of wanted to inform people that it's really important to eat it through the food first.
So that does not take the place of this.
Yes, it should definitely not, especially too, when we were kind of talking earlier, these have got a ton of fiber in them. This has only got 2 grams of fiber in it. So, you know, there's different flavors, things like that. But honestly, if you can just eat the vegetable itself, it's going to be way better for you and your body.
There it is. So Maddie is saying go green. Keep that idea as we go into the spring and summer. And find it all right here at Hy-Vee.